Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Germany for round 12 of the 2002 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located near the historic city of Heidelberg, the new for 2002 Hockenheim consists of three short straights and a really diverse mixture of fast, medium and slow turns, including a hairpin. The claustrophobic stadium section is the only feature that designer Hermann Tilke has left intact from the Hockenheim circuit as used in recent years.
As always, we start off with qualifying. This is my first flying lap, and it's not going to be all that good. So we crossed the line in 127.209, and when I got back to the garage, I realized I had 10 laps worth of fuel, so that slowed me down significantly. And now here is my second flying lap. This time I remembered to put in just enough fuel so I can return to the pits. As such, we crossed the line in 122.873, which is a massive improvement.
Hello there. Welcome to Germany for round 12 of the 2002 FIA Formula One World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Kimi Räikkönen first. Schumacher just managed to get the edge over his championship rival, the Renault driver. David Coulthard third. The Renault driver performed brilliantly in qualifying to line up fourth. Jenson Button couldn't quite match the pace of his teammate. He starts fifth. Juan Pablo Montoya sixth. Nick Heidfeld seventh. Ralf Schumacher eighth. Barrichello ninth. Irvine 10th. Frentzen 11th. Webber 12th. Fisichella 13th. Villeneuve 14th. Philippe Massa 15th. Sarlo 16th. Sato 17th. Panis 18th. De La Rosa 19th. Bernaldi 20th. McNeish 21st. Alex Young 22nd.
And here we are on the grid. We're starting from 4th. It's been a while since we've qualified this high up. Raikkonen is in pole amazingly. Schumacher is 2nd and Button is right beside us in 5th. And we're off. Raikkonen has a very bad start. He's very slow off the grid. And just to be safe I slowed down as well. But as you can see, that has a negative effect of dropping us down the order significantly. As we come into turn 2 of this revised Hockenheimring, and I lose another position as Eddie Irvine just overtakes me. So we really lost a bunch of positions, and I hope we can recover from this. Here is a second look at the start. Everyone breaks away from the grid. Oh no, the minority of Alex Young is actually stuck. Unbelievable, this is the third race in a row where we had cars stopped on the grid, and this is the second time we see a minority. There hasn't been a single race this season which didn't include an incident of some sort on the first lap. Anyway, we need to start pushing. During all that, I've been passed by Villeneuve as well, as we come around to join up with the old part of the track. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of this new layout. As I go very wide through this right-hander, but yeah, I don't really like this new layout. I very much prefer the old layout. I don't know, but this just doesn't feel right somehow. I'm not saying it's a bad layout, just that I don't really like it. But anyway, we are now coming around to finish lap 1 of this 23 lap German Grand Prix. That was the minority of Alex Young to our right. We've fallen all the way down to 11th, so we really need to start pushing here, because our place in the championship is at stake. Just a few hundred meters later, I challenged Villeneuve with a massive dive bomb through the hairpin. That was a bit too much, I'd say, and it could have ended really badly for us. But Villeneuve is very slow out of the hairpin and we move up a position. There's also been a crash, so let's have a look. Here we have Frentzen and Fisichella. They're just behind us. Fisichella tries to squeeze Frentzen, but ends up breaking Princeton's front wing, whilst Fisichella loses his rear wing and a wheel. We are now on board with Mikasalo to have another look at the incident. Fisichella and Princeton make contact, wings start to fly everywhere, and of course Fisichella loses his rear right wheel, whilst Salo is doing some weird maneuver. So that had to be a pretty violent crash if Fisichella lost a wheel. As Irvine makes a mistake, will we be able to capitalize on that though? We get right on his gearbox, but I had to brake to avoid crashing into him, so now he's pulled away again. As we approach the hairpin on lap 3, I finally get a chance to overtake Irvine, so we move up into 9th. Barrichello is next, and there's another incident, and Barrichello just gives up his position. What is going on here? Why did he pull over as if he was being lapped? Never mind that, as we now take a look at the replay to see who crashed into Fisichella's Jordan. And we are actually focused on my teammate Jensen Button. He turns in for the hairpin but then decides that it would be better to just crash into the top car. I think there might be some issues with the AI for this hairpin. We are now on board with Barrichello. He slows down, turns in as he approaches the apex. He then steers away as if to avoid something, except there is nothing there. And now he's in the gravel trap. I really don't get this. Sorry, but that's just bad programming in my opinion. Okay, so we've just seen the AI going mental. What's next? Another incident apparently. Bet you 2 cents I know exactly where it took place. Yes, I am that cheap. So here's the replay. Salo and Masa are coming up to the hairpin. We see Fisichella and Button. Button decides to reverse all of a sudden, and both Salo and Masa crash into his Renault. Here's a view from onboard Masa's Sauber. They are coming into the hairpin. Masa is having a look at Salo on the inside. Button reverses his car at the wrong moment. Then Salo and Masa crash into Button. And I think I even saw a wheel flying just then. Either way, Button is out. Well, that moved us up one more spot, and we are now in 7th. Next up is Montoya, who is just over 2 seconds up the road. If we can pass Montoya, we'll be in the points. That's our aim, since at the moment we are tied with Michael Schumacher in first in the standings, so we need to try and win. A bit later on, I close in on Montoya and he's super slow out of the hairpin. What on earth? Anyway, we are now in 6th and a potential 1 point. One lap later, as we come into the hairpin again, Montoya decides to make a move, kind of taps my side pod a bit. I go very wide, so Eddie Irvine also overtakes me, but look at how slow these AI are coming out of the hairpin. Why? Just why? That makes no sense. We are once again coming into the hairpin and we are challenging Ralf Schumacher for 5th. Schumacher goes off the track. I try to accelerate but he cuts me off and I lose my front wing. So now I have to make an unscheduled stop. Not only that, but this is still pretty early in the race, so I'll have to make another stop towards the end. And here's a replay of that incident. We enter the hairpin, Ralf Schumacher goes wide and off the track. He comes back on, blocks me, and I lose my front wing. So that puts us in a very bad position because, as I said, I will have to make another stop towards the end of the race. There's no way around it, and if I'm not mistaken, the AI only goes for one stop during this race. So that's going to affect us. How? Well, we'll have to wait and see. So now we're coming in to replace our front wing. We are also changing our tires and taking on some fuel. There's no reason not to really, and I have a feeling we might not be able to score any points this race, which is really bad because that will allow Michael Schumacher to take the lead in the championship, and there are not that many races left in the season. So if we don't score points, that is going to make the rest of the season very tough. But it's time to find out what we can do from here on out. A couple of laps later, we are coming up on Jacques Villeneuve, who is having problems with his gearbox, so we overtake him without any issues. And we're in 9th apparently, so just 3 spots below the point. We need to keep pushing. Later on, I came across Rubens Barrichello. I have a look on the inside, pull up next to him, and we're through. And up in 7th apparently. I think I might have passed someone in the pit. That would explain it. A bit later on, as I was trying to pull away from Barrichello, I was informed that Panis was in trouble. And although that's not going to give us a free spot, it's going to make things easier since we'll have less cars on the track to deal with. And here is the BAR of Olivier Panis coming up on Takuma Sato, but suddenly his car starts spewing out smoke. He goes off the track straight into the tire wall. That was quite a crash. He lost both his right side wheels, not to mention both his wings. So with Panis out of the picture, it's going to make things easier for us, only by a little bit, but even that can make a difference. We are now halfway through the race, so we should expect cars starting to pit. That should move us up a few positions, but let's not forget that I have to make a second stop towards the end. A few laps later we come across the two McLarens, and they are being held up by a back marker, so I'm going to take full advantage of that, make a triple pass, and we're now in second position. That is amazing, but again, let's not forget I still have to make a second stop, so our true position will only be revealed after that. Later on, I was trying to catch Michael Schumacher and trying to put some distance between myself and the two McLarens, when I was informed of another incident, so let's have a look. And here we have the arrows of Enrique Bernoldi. Barrichello is coming to lap him. Bernoldi's car then starts to let out smoke and goes from white to dark grey. Barrichello goes around and Bernoldi is out. Bit of a shame that, but such is life and such is racing. And we're slowly starting to catch on Schumacher. My only concern is that we might have to pit before we can pass him. That's going to be a bit annoying. So we've closed in on Michael Schumacher a bit more, but we have to pit at the end of this lap. So that's going to throw us back quite a bit. And my rear left tire gets stuck on the curb. I yank the wheel and we're going for a spin. We crash into the barrier, I lose my rear wing and my rear left wheel. And that's the end of the German Grand Prix for us. Oh, and the engine has stalled as well. What a disaster. So here's a replay. I'm coming into the right-hander leading onto the old part of the circuit. Go slightly wide. I tried to get back onto the track, but my car just didn't want to respond. But my car was stuck on the curb. I then yanked my steering wheel to force my way back. Obviously that was a mistake since that caused me to crash into the barrier. I lost my rear wing and my rear left wheel, and my engine stalled as well. And we were about 5 or 6 laps away from the end of the race. This is devastating because now Michael Schumacher is going to take the lead of the championship, and we only have 5 more rounds to bounce back. And I know what you're thinking. 5 rounds is more than enough to win the championship. And I'd like to say that I agree with that. But I don't, because I know that I am very bad at 3 of the remaining 5 races. So that only gives me 2 chances to maybe win. That is, if I don't crash again, which might very well happen. It will be a miracle if we can still win the championship. With that in mind, let's have a look at the standings.
It's been a fascinating German Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. Schumacher first. Raikkonen second. David Coulthard third. Montoya fourth. Nick Heidfeld fifth. Schumacher sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher regains the lead of the Drivers' Championship.
Michael Schumacher moves into the lead of the Drivers' Championship with 70 points. We are in second with 60 points. Montoya is third with 45 points. Raikkonen is fourth with 37 points. In fifth we have David Coulthard with 34 points. Sixth is Ralf Schumacher with 14 points. In seventh we have Button and Heidfeld with 13 points. Fisichella and Barrichello share 8th with 7 points. Ninth is Irvine with 5 points. Frentzen is 10th with 3 points. De La Rosa is 11th with 2 points. And in 12th we have Villeneuve with 1 point.
Ferrari regained the lead of the Constructors' Championship. Renault are second, whilst third place is held by McLaren.
Ferrari move into the lead of the Constructors' Championship with 77 points. We are in second with 73 points. McLaren are third with 71 points. Fourth are Williams with 59 points. Sauber are fifth with 13 points. Jaguar and Jordan share sixth with 7 points. Arrows are seventh with 3 points. And BAR are eighth with 1 point. So we're in danger of losing the championship at the moment. Finishing the season as runner-ups wouldn't be a bad achievement, mind you, but winning it would be obviously better. As I just said, I won't have many opportunities to score points, so we have to make the best of the remaining races. I really hope we can bounce back, although I have a feeling we might not. Anyway, our next race is the Hungarian Grand Prix, which is one of those races where I know I won't be able to score points because I know how bad I am at that track. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.